So here I thought I'd show the interior. I haven't had a chance to clean it yet, but it's pretty good. There's no real damage to it or anything, and the dash has been reupholstered, which I'm really excited about that. And it's got the digital dash, and let's see here, I'll show that to you, all the T-tops and everything back here. It's pretty solid, just needs a good cleaning, but there's no rips in the seats or anything like that. Everything works, the windows, the automatic locks, all that. So we'll take a look back here. It's got the original bag for the T-tops. It's all pretty clean. I've got some new door seals, things like that. I've got the original dash and the original tachometer, and all that is in here. This came with the digital, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. I really like the digital dash, so I'll keep it as such. And it's been bored out. Of course, it's got the headers on there. It's got the 750 carburetor, high performance cam, all the air conditioning and all that kind of stuff has been removed, and it's pretty much just set up to drag race. And yeah, it's pretty quick. The fuel was at, what was it, 49%. I drove it home 30 miles and knocked it down to 15%. So it can pass just about anything but a gas station. Everything's pretty sharp in here, pretty good. So I just bought this car set up to drag race, and it is no joke set up to drag race. It's got all kinds of crazy stuff under the hood. The thing I wanted to show everybody is, if you can hear it, I'm sure you can, but in the ashtray, it's got a little switch which opens up the exhaust. And of course the T-tops work pretty good. Latches back. That's great. And it's dirty, of course, but it's pretty solid underneath there. And there's the driver's door. It's got a little rust here and there. Needs a little bit of help here and there, but for the most part it's pretty solid. It's a little tricky to start with the big cam and the 750 carburetor and all that, but opened up the exhaust and kind of got to play with it a little bit. It's some of these things about these race motors is you kind of gotta baby them until they get good and warmed up. It's not a good vehicle for if you're just wanting to quickly run some errands or something. That's probably not the vehicle for you. But the guy did a great job with it. There was a lady who was drag racing with it, and then a young man, his dad, took it off her hands and had them some head work done and just had a little miscellaneous work done with it, and then he was wanting a different vehicle, so I ended up taking it off his hands. And it's just about getting warmed up here. So that's pretty much it. I'll kick the exhaust down, as you'll see here. That closes everything back up. So an interesting story of how I came about to own this car. I've been wanting a car like this, mid 80s Camaro, for many years, and I wanted it set up to drag and all that. And I've been looking and doing some research, pretty serious research, for the last year, and I've been thinking about it, praying about it, and praying for a little guidance. And every time I'd find one, it was so expensive, just because they would charge so much money because it was all original. But I don't necessarily care about that, because what I want to do is I want to bore it out. I want high compression heads, and I want to, I want to take out the air conditioning and all that stuff. So 6 months ago, my wife and I went to a town that was 30 miles from our home, and it was getting kind of late at night. We went to a specialty store. Well, I think it may have been a Home Depot or something that we didn't have in our town. And I saw this white Camaro in the parking lot, and it was late, and I was like, my God. And I was waiting for the guy to come out so I could talk to him and just tell him I appreciate his car. And anyway, it never worked out. And so we were loading up our car with our stuff, and then away he went. And I was like, well, okay, whatever. And so got up one morning, and the wife and I were looking for some certain pet supplies, and our town just didn't sell the supplies that we needed. So we went back to this other town, which was 30 miles away. And that morning, I kept thinking about that white Camaro that I'd saw 6 months previously. I kept thinking about it, and driving on the way there, kept thinking about it, and I was like, I had this little voice in my head, get ready to see that white Camaro, and I'm just like, no, that's stupid, this is stupid, no way. So we decided to eat at this one particular restaurant, and by the time we had finished, and I had ding-dong, usually when I'm done eating, I'm out the door, and I had ding-donged around, held the door open for our family, blah, blah, blah. And as we were pulling out of the parking lot, this white Camaro was pulling into the parking lot. The timing could not have been better. So I swung back around into the parking lot, and the guy, it was a gentleman and his wife, and they were both looking at me like, what in the world's going on? So anyway, he was showing me the car and showing how, it was, all this was done, the high compression heads, all that stuff. And I really loved the car.
And I just looked at him and I said, well, is it for sale? And he goes, well, maybe. And I said, well, what would it take, for you to sell it? And he shot me a price at X dollars, and I said, okay. And next day, it was sitting in my driveway, and then I made this video. And he was happy to do it. He was ready for a different vehicle for his family, and so yeah. Anyway, I thought you might appreciate that story. Thanks so much for watching.